Hello everyone, Christopher Beast here, and in today's video we are going to be exploring the possible lore behind the Battle Pass seasons. This video is different than most others that I made, in that while most other videos I make sure I have plenty of evidence and a solid argument before I go into it, this one isn't really the case. However, I hope you guys still enjoy and at least ponder the conclusions I put forward. And even if you don't agree with me, well, actually, if you don't agree with me, put so in the comments, so that way we can make a better theory together, and hopefully come to the actual conclusions that the devs intended for us. I also want to put out a second little message here, in that it is very possible that the Battle Pass and its rotating seasons is really just a gameplay mechanic. So with that, let's get started. So starting this video out, we're going to start with the Founder Pack. While I know the Founder Pack is not a Battle Pass, you don't need to run into the comment section screaming that right now. But the Founder Pass is pretty close to an idea of a Battle Pass, and it does give us a time frame and a group of players, which so does the Battle Pass. So I will use them as the first Battle Pass. The Founders seem to be a group of people who stumbled across the Norwegian wastes and are just normal people or scouts who are just here along for the ride. My conclusions about the Founders is that they're just normal guys. I mean, you could tell from their attire of just a regular flannel jacket and some jeans, as well as a cap, that there's really nothing special about them. And that's not being attacking the Founders, but there's just nothing special about them as compared to the other Battle Passes. Moving on to the Battle Pass for Season 1, we have the Preppers, which is shown through the hazmat suit. The Preppers seemingly were the people that were ready for the nuclear apocalypse when it came and had been preparing. This is actually what the game tells us back in that season, that these were the people who were prepared and they had tons of little tools. The Preppers are seen wearing a hazmat suit, which could symbolize that, they have more of a resistance to radiation, and while the suit in-game doesn't actually do that, we can assume that the Preppers are more used to or have better countermeasures against radiation as compared to the Founders. So moving on to the next part of the theory is that each wave of the Battle Pass replaces the previous wave by killing them off. The Preppers would be much better suited for combat in nuclear apocalypse than the Founders would. Simply speaking, on the earliest term, they would have better radiation resistance, which could lead to the Founders getting sick and possibly dying out even before the Preppers arrived on the scene. But should the Preppers still remain, then tools such as the contact bomb would quickly make short work of the Founders. Seeing as the Founders would not be really ready for these contact bombs, it would simply just slowly wipe them out. I also think the Preppers are Norwegian in nationality, which would give them slight homeland advantage over the Founders, as the Founders are 100% not Norwegian. They came from other regions into this area. So that's what I think about the Preppers. Following the Preppers, we move into the next season, the Hunters. The Hunters seem to be based off of the northern Norwegian populace of the Sami people. They apparently, based off what they're wearing, are wearing rags that would allow them to be slightly faster than the Preppers, as they wouldn't be bogged down by the radiation suit. And I will state it again, this is not what we see in-game, but we can assume that this is what in reality it would do. Also, coming with the Hunters, they brought new weapons such as the Fake Glint and the Portable Signal Detector, which would help them hunt down any people in the area. I think that these guys would have had really no issue dealing with the Preppers, seeing as they would be far faster. They would come with the crossbow, which would be a great weapon for just puncturing through a radiation suit. Radiation suits also offer little to no physical resistance, so it's just simply that the Hunters would have been able to quickly destroy the Prepper population due to knowing where they are, and even these guys would have slightly homeland advantage because they're built for and they live a semi-nomadic life in the mountains, and a lot of Vigor's climate is mountains, as it is Norway. Moving on, we have our current season, which has two different groups of people. First, I'm going to cover the Outlaws. The Outlaws seem to be a group of people from a metropolitan area, which could either be southern Norway, it really could be anywhere, and I don't think it particularly matters. One large idea I've been heard being thrown around is that they are from the areas of Karelia, but I personally think that's a little too far east, but whatever you believe is fine. The Outlaws seem to be much more aggressive we based in the hunters, and that's just my own personal conclusion. However, the Outlaws do have the added advantage of the shootout, something that they frequent often, which would mean they are much better at gunfire than the hunters. And I don't think it's too far-fetched to believe that the Outlaws would not have much issue dispatching preppers. Moving on to the other group of skins in the season, we have the policemen. The policemen are slightly armored, and as their name suggests, are policemen. I have no idea where the policemen come from. My greatest guess has been somehow they are from Britain, and I don't know how that would be possible. If anyone has any ideas how that would be possible or any other possible conclusions of where they're from, say it in the comments. But nevertheless, moving on to the theory that each wave wipes out the last, the policemen would have no issue dealing with hunters. Well, yes, they would be slower. The policemen are trained and are also slightly armored, which would mean the crossbow bolts, while this is not shown in-game, crossbow bolts aren't really going to do very much to Kevlar. Just generally speaking, the policemen would also have more coordination, more organization than the hunters. I don't think it's too far-fetched to believe that the hunters would be quickly wiped out by the policemen, and not adding to that, the Outlaws as well. Alright, so this has been my Battle Pass theory. We're going to have to see what happens in the next Battle Pass in order for this theory to keep moving. If the next Battle Pass shows yet another stronger group of people, or a group of people that would be able to handle both the preppers and the outlaws, I mean not the preppers, the police and the outlaws, then it would add to the theory. Until next time, this has been Christopher Beast. See y'all next time.